What is up, guys? Welcome on back to TK's Garage, and it looks like John Elkann is working a deal with the president. Wow, shocker. Looks like the last video we did where I said that production was going to be moving from Mexico and Canada to the US is going to happen. Now, in order to make that happen in a timely manner and not chaos and cause extreme financial difficulty for a company like Stellantis, they might need a waiver or a pause on certain products for tariffs and only certain products. Oh, yeah. And it ain't just Stellantis that's coming to the barrel begging, but they might get the sweetest deal because they're about to actually be made in America. What is up, guys? Welcome on back to TK's Garage. And yes, GM, Ford, and Stellantis shares are all up right now in futures trading. Currently, it's 1:12 in the morning Pacific time. That means it's about 4 o'clock in the morning, 4:12 in the morning on the East Coast. And yes, in futures trading, all of these are up. General Motors is up 1.5%. Stellantis with the biggest, and we'll talk about why they're up the biggest. Ford's up 1.35%, and Stellantis is up 2.45%. in after hours trading. I've seen it go as high as 3.25. And why that is the president may provide exemptions to John Elkann on the 2500, 3500 Ram pickup trucks and the Wagoneer S for a set amount of time in order for the company to move that production to the United States. Oh, wait a minute. I'm waiting. That's right. I told you so. I told you so. I told you this was happening. I didn't mean to have two I told you so videos in a day, but damn it, I told you so. And guess what? That ain't the only products from Stellantis that's moving. As I said in the previous video, the Charger and the Chrysler minivan are leaving Canada. I do not see them staying at Windsor Assembly. I'm sorry. Now, what does that mean in the short term? I've seen so many people, I've had so many UAW people send me emails, send me chats on Facebook, which, by the way, I don't monitor my Facebook chat. It's monitored by my network. If they see something that comes in that I need to get, they send it to me. But needless to say, it like the last 24 hours has been blowing up. And that's because even in the network there, in stamping and parts and stuff that are being put together that they send over to Canada to assemble cars, there's going to be some pain points initially. Now, it's not going to be long, and that's what this pause on tariffs is going to do for Stellantis. It will allow them to continue production at Windsor Assembly. It will allow them to continue production at Saltillo and be able to get those vehicles in the United States without 25% tariffs for a very set amount of time. And that amount of time is going to be finite. There's not going to be extensions offered or anything like that. They're going to have to retool here extremely fast. Remember when I told you, oh yeah, they suspended all of the retooling at Brampton, and now people are coming out and being like, oh yeah, they got rid of all the contractors. They're not doing anything at Brampton. And I was like, I told you they're selling all that property around there because the writing's on the wall. They're not building crap at Brampton. Nothing. Zero. Nothing. And now Windsor is going to be in the same situation that Brampton's in. And I can already tell you that the people in Ontario are not going to be happy about this news. And the people in Mexico aren't going to be happy about this news. But the president is right. He's looking out for the United States first. Makes sense to me. And he's basically saying, the auto parts tariffs that were supposed to take effect on May 3rd and those tariffs on foreign-made cars at 25%, even though it's a U.S. company, you're building it in Canada or Mexico when you bring it across the border, 25% tariff. Stellantis is going to get the best deal here because, remember, and listen, what did the president say? Like multiple times, I've published those videos of what the president said directly. Yeah, he's been talking to John Elkann once or twice a week for months. Elkann has been having conversations with the president at least once or twice a week to nail all this down, to know how they're going to be able to move forward because they're not stupid. Ram is the cash cow, okay? The 2500 and 3500 makes the money. Fleet vehicles, things like that. They can't afford to just be cutting 25% of their money out because it's there, when they can get massive tax incentives by moving it here. Now, the deal hasn't been announced by the White House yet on what they're going to give Stellantis, but I'm willing to bet it has something very close to the Transportation Freedom Act, where UAW workers that make, less than $150,000 a year are probably going to count for a 200% tax break for the company for every one of those workers that they hire. Yeah, it makes sense for Stellantis to do that. And to not have to pay emissions fines and all this other crap. Remember, the president said, oh yeah, I've been on the phone with Elkann twice this week. This was what, two weeks ago? I've been on the phone with Elkann twice this week. Well, Mr. President, the reporter asked, well, Mr. President, was he trying to get a pause on tariff? He goes, nah, he just wants to get a deal with emissions where he's not having to pay fines and carbon credits and all this other crap. Wonder why that is. Oh, that's right. Oh, you mean all those Hemis that everybody said wasn't coming back, that are coming back again? Yeah, I know. I feel like I'm gonna be like that dude that's on TikTok with her and be like, anywho's, good news, bad news for Mexico and Canada. I know. Good news for auto workers here in the United States. Massively good news. Because it looks like a lot of production is about to come to the United States, at least from Stellantis. And I'm not even talking, and here's the thing. The deal that Elkann is working out with the president isn't just Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Oh no. The Hornet, some Alphas, even some Maseratis might get built right here. If Maserati stays a brand under Stellantis, we'll see. But you probably also aren't going to see an announcement on who the new CEO is until the announcement for stuff that's coming out for Ram around June. Maybe before that, if they have this deal done on tariffs and the timeline of moving the production back to the United States. Look, General Motors is doing the same thing. He did make it very clear. That's why I think GM is also looking to do the same thing. CEO Mary Barra said that automakers are seeking clarity and consistency on the tariffs so they can make informed strategic changes to their production and supply chain to minimize the impact. It's very simple. Move your damn production back to the United States. This is it. That's what the president wants. Do it or pay. Plain and simple. Not rocket science. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I think this is huge news. Stellantis working on getting a deal to not have to pay tariffs on these trucks out of Mexico and the minivan and the Charger out of Canada temporarily why they retool places to bring the production here, I think is huge news. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Give the video a big thumbs up if you like what I do. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And as always, stay petty, my friends.